This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker Podcasts. It's still December 18, 2022. And Mr. Perry, of course, responded to the last podcast by pushing me harder. Come to Texas, come where I can make you do weird sex things that you don't want to do and rape you and creep you out and make you feel horrible every day and make your life a living hell and make you, this is, excuse me for the vulgarity, but this is what sex trafficking is. This is what human trafficking is. I'm the only victim that had found out beforehand that Mr. Perry trafficked me. He sold me to a man in Houston who is a realtor. What Mr. Perry has done for decades, he trolls women. He tells everybody, oh, I'm out seeing people in the district, and he is. He's trolling women. He'll find divorced women with kids. I guess there's a market for more intelligent women, not teenage runaways. Some men who are wealthier, who want somebody who can carry on a normal adult conversation and an intelligent conversation, but is somewhat vulnerable. So a divorced woman, a single mom with kids is somewhat vulnerable. They put hidden cameras in these women's homes. They get them fired. They hack them. I'm one of the victims. They hack them. They broadcast us in the privacy of our home. Most women don't know. I'm a part of an investigation into this, so I've known. They wanted me to help Mr. Perry. I was called in from the beginning to help Mr. Perry get elected so undercover police could get to him. It's a little easier to talk with someone who is shaking hands and kissing babies and trying to get a vote or money than it is to go into an office and pretend that you need your taxes done. So that's what they did. He's a grandiose thinking serial killer. Let's use that. Let's get him elected. Let's put him out in the public. So that's what we've done. But he decided then to focus on me. At the time I was married. Now, during all of that, I ended up getting divorced, and then I become a victim too. They put hidden cameras and they broadcast us on the dark web and sell watch time. Mr. Perry is a sexual sadist. He enjoys causing women to get upset and hurt. And the witness says so he can go rub one out. Also, children. The children in the home, it's child pornography, are also being watched and sold online. So this is a very nasty, disgusting, grotesque crime, and it's bad. Okay, so that's why they always want to kill me or freeze me to death or starve me to death, and they are desperate to get me back to Texas. Mr. Perry has written up a letter of apology. It's his words, not mine. He didn't tell me about it. The police told me about it, and an affidavit. He wanted to arrange a second false arrest, and he's tried 20 different ways to do that. He's tried 2 murder frame-ups. He's tried, but, being that there are 40 cops helping me, and I'm raised in law enforcement, and I'm in criminal justice college, we debunked every one. Boom, 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 boom. So, with forensic whatever, by going, already, as soon as they found out, Perry didn't tell me, the cops found out that are investigating him. They told me, boy, we got it on it. We started getting on it. I get the information before they do it. Then what he'll do is he'll cause us to lose our jobs. We can't find work anywhere else. What they'll do is they'll spoof a website. So you think you're applying for a job at Target. You're not. You're filling out a form on a spoofed website. So you never get a call back or anything. I've applied at Target, Quick Trip, Walgreens, and there was one other place, I can't remember what it was. Nothing. First, I got a letter from Walgreens. I went in, and they were telling me how desperate they were for people to come work. I go, I'd like to work here. So she goes, oh, here, go online. She texted her manager right then and said, we got somebody that wants to work. You can fog a mirror. You can work at Walgreens, Target, Quick Trip. It's not that hard. So there's young kids that work there that, barely out of high school. I've got 3 years of college. I owned a business. I can work there. I'm perfectly qualified. I get a letter back from Walgreens, you're not qualified. I go back in and they're like, did you not apply or what happened? No, I did. The manager was there. Let me go talk to the manager. She comes back, she goes, reapply. Something's wrong. Okay, so I did it again. Haven't heard a word. So it's not like I'm not trying to look for work. I'm doing DoorDash in the meantime. They'll hack my DoorDash app and make sure I don't make any money. Or barely, just $60 a day. I just pulled up a website that said DoorDashers in Tulsa are making $32 an hour. $32 an hour. My forensic accountant says I should be making $100 to $150 a day. I'm barely squeaking out 40 to 60. It is pathetic. So because everybody's angry that I don't have any money, we can get a lot of intel from inside. Like I found out I was trafficked. So what he'll do is while we're on the being sold watch time, we're also being marketed to somebody who would buy us. So he's human trafficking. He's exploiting sex. It's sex exploitation and human trafficking. What flagged this off to begin with was the deprivation of basic human rights and needs, food and shelter of women and children. People don't like crime. I don't know why they thought they'd be okay with theirs. So, Mr. Perry, again, get out of my phone. I don't care what you think. Mr. Perry, while I'm doing these podcasts, because he's a little peeping Tom pervert and he's a hacker, he thinks it's a conversation. Our shrink thinks that Mr. Perry is so deep in delusion due to his Huntington's disease. It does cause delusion and paranoia. He's so deep in delusion, he can't find his way back out. He can no longer tell the difference between real world and his pretend world. He doesn't know. He's also not able to understand or process what you just said to him. No cognitive reasoning. He's been putting calls out to talk to the guys investigating him that tell me all this stuff. And like Mike Neely was drugged, I said it before anybody else said it. I said it in May. I said it in March 2020. Depositions were taken in May. I was right. He was treated with Narcan. Mr. Gene Mitchell told the media this interview with Escambia Sheriff will exonerate my client. I agree. I think it did. I explained how that is. Then he changed his story. My guy tells me Gene Mitchell's about to change everything. He's going to go into court and lie because Charles told him to. They came up with some bullshit. It just didn't even make sense. He goes, read the docket. I go on, I read the whole docket. I wanted to barf. I text Gene Mitchell and I tell him, do not do this. It's not plausible. It's not even possible, much less plausible, what you're about to say. Gene Mitchell then deposed me, and so did the Florida State Attorney. Neither one of them asked me, how did you know Mike was drugged before anybody else said it? And neither one of them, Gene didn't ask me, how did you know my legal argument before I've made it? They want to know now. Because Mr. Perry's under police investigation. This morning he types in my phone, is it Nashville PD? I'm coming. Okay, no, I don't want you to come, and I've said that. You need to act like you understand what I'm saying. If you think it's Nashville, call Nashville and tell them to stop stopping your crime. Then hold your breath. They'll get right on that if it's them. Okay? It's a need to know. If you wanted my guy to call you back, then you would have done what he said. He said, a conversation is people talking. Mr. Perry's going to talk and I'm going to listen. And then I'm going to talk and he's going to listen. Here's the thing, though. I've been listening to every word Mr. Perry says for a decade. Over a decade. I'm the one that told you Michael's drugged. I'm the one that told you Mitchell was going to change this narrative, his legal argument, and it wasn't even going to make sense. He's going to screw his client over big time. I tried everything I could do to help that man. I filed motions to intervene, third-party motions to intervene. I tried fucking everything I could do. Perry and Robertson get pissed off. They make sure I don't make any money. I had no electricity or food for a week. When I say he's literally trying to starve me until I lie, he is literally trying to starve me until I lie. For that, Mr. Perry, my guy says you are going to be charged with assault and battery because you've told everybody who will listen you intend to cause me bodily injury to force me against my will to say something that's not true. To lie. Because what I'm saying, what I've said on the docket, everything, all my testimony on the docket, that's my testimony. It's my court testimony. I've sworn to the statement. You're committing a violation of Title 18 RICO Act and applicable state law that are similar to the RICO Act. You're in violation of the law. Here's the thing. Polling shows people do not like crime. You watch the news, people do not like the criminal. They go help the victim. On the front page of the Tulsa World today, there's a judge picture, the domestic violence court judge. She says, you can't hide anymore. We're putting these offenders behind bars. That's it. The thing that needs to happen, first of all, domestic violence murders in Oklahoma went up 44% since 2020. Dead women at the hands of men. You're guilty of misogyny and gender discrimination. Right? Misogyny is as sickening as racism, just so you know, to everybody else. It's just sick. And for a woman who's black, who has to experience both racism and misogyny, I have my hat off to her. And there are those women, and it shouldn't be in this day and age. It should not be. It absolutely is disgusting. Either one, racism or misogyny. And if someone's being discriminated against because they're black and a woman, dear Jesus, what in the fuck? This is not Noah's Ark. It is not Noah's Ark. You hate women. Your mom humiliated you as a kid, and now you're all whiny about it, and you're bothering other people with it, and we don't care. So, the way women, and also DVIS has a ride system set up for women because domestic violence offenders always go at the car, and it says that in the article. We're looking for volunteers. We have this ride program because these fuckers go at the car. Mr. Perry's had my car wrecked 5 times in 3 years. Never stops, never shuts up about how bad he wants to take my car away. How many times have you talked to my car guy just this week? We know I tell you, my guys, if they know Geppetto's name and Lucius's name and Sonja, you think they don't know exactly how many times you talked to my car guy this week? Or ever? It's illegal for you to even know who he is. The allegations are stalking, hacking, peeping Tom, exploitation, trafficking, coercion, grand larceny with intent to go. I believe what he was going to do is a witness to. It's not done yet, so it's not finalized. But kind of what he threw out there was, I believe what I'm doing is a witness tampering charge. The act is grand larceny with intent to coerce. A witness tampering charge. He's tampering with my witness. She's my witness. You don't get to do that. Grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with contracts and commerce, buying and selling of anything at all with intent to coerce, a lie. You want to force me to lie because I'm telling the truth now. You wanted to false arrest me and sit me down and go, you have to sign the letter of apology I wrote, my words, not yours, and this affidavit I wrote, not your words, my words. And I said, fuck you. And that police officer that was supposed to pull me over, I guess he was TPD. I don't know, you guys have called, last night if somebody's pissed off. Did you get Cotusa PD in this? Yes. What about Verdigris? No. How many police departments did you get involved in this stalking thing? He was pissed. I wrote the U.S. attorney in 2015. He's trying to use local law enforcement to hurt me, to stalk me, to harass me. And you have. Lucky complained about it. Is that why you killed him? Is that why he's dead? You killed him? So, pull her over and get the information on her car and give it to me. I'm going to call our car guy and legally obtain information about her car loan or her car status. You guys were recorded talking about the status of the oil in the tires 2 days ago. We have that. You kill me, my guy, I don't actually have the recordings. They still have them. They're still there. So you want to kill me, fine. I said I would die so others could live. I said that. I'm not going to suck your dick. I'm not going to be with you. I'm not going to Texas. Period. To me, I'd rather be dead than be in the same room with you. So, delusional. This thing, we got this one. Because when Perry contacts me, I hate it. I fucking hate it. When he peeps on me. Anyways, because he's told everybody who will listen, I intend to cause bodily injury and starve her by starvation. He's going to charge you with assault and battery for every day I'm living in my car and I can't eat. Deprived of food and shelter. And if I die, he said, I will charge the bitch with first-degree murder. I know I'm not in Tulsa. I promise you I'll get it done. And he's already told me how he's going to get that done. I don't have to tell you. No one has to owe you anything. You're the offender. Murder, he goes, I've heard it. We've heard the guy talking to hitman. We've heard the guy talking about hiring a hitman. If he starves you or you freeze to death, it's murder in the first degree as far as I'm concerned, and I will nail his butt for that. I'll get him. He's already going to have some assault charges because he's assaulting you physically by doing what he's doing. He said, I intend to cause a bodily injury to her to make her lie, to make her be subjected to my sex slavery. So he's going to charge you. Now, you have that information. You do what you do. You have to live with the consequences of it. You've been told, here's what they intend to do with what you're doing. If you wish to continue along, fine. But make sure you can live with that. If not, if you can't live with that, then you might want to rethink it if you even can do that. with your Huntington's delusion crap. Because you got it bad. It's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. You need to get a fucking nurse. You need one bad. So, I don't want to hear from you. I do not care what you think. No one understands why you think I would. No one. The longer I'm broke, the longer Mike Neely is in jail, the more you contact me, the more you invade my privacy, the more of these we get right here. We just got another one. Somebody complaining. I thought you had Fabian ready to take her back to Texas. Nope. He wouldn't do it. She said he wouldn't do it, and then he didn't. He wouldn't do it. He was offered, what, 15, I heard? And then he said no, and then you upped it to 20, and then he said no, and then you upped it to 25, and he still said no. I said, he's not going to hurt me for you. I told you that. Fabian knows that you're going to use him to hurt me. He knows I know you're going to use him to hurt me. You really think that would work? Do you really think? Okay, you tried to coax me to a shelter. It's cold. Go to the shelter. Let's meet at Quick Trip. I'll go to the shelter, right? See, I already knew all about it. I didn't take the bait, did I? I knew. I have 40 cops here. Everything you said. That's what the guy said. I've listened to Charles Perry talk for over a decade, all day, every day. I've heard everything he says, pretty much. Not everything, but most everything. So, here's the thing. In July 2022, we said she's not to be broke anymore and have to ask for money ever again. He's not to invade her privacy or contact her. Show some respect for her and the law. Comply with the law. People don't like crime, sir. They don't like it. You got a court in Tulsa County that says you're going to go to jail if you're a domestic violence offender in my district. You're going to jail. Women don't want to live in a shelter. We want the guy to go to jail. We don't want to have a ride. We want our car. Take his car. Get him away from mine. Jodi Arias went out the car. The next escalation was murder in the first degree of Travis Alexander, her stalking victim. These people are nutty, and they're dangerous. And the Connecting the Dots video that the National Stalking Resources Center put out, that is like fucking linked on pretty much all of these. I'm pretty sure it's linked here. This is the previous podcast, Mr. Perry. Right? You didn't understand a word I said, did you? See, you act like you have no fucking idea what people say. My guy does not want to waste his time, Charles, talking to you. Oop, that's not it. Maybe it's here. The National Stalking Resource Center, Connecting the Dots, they say, if you're a police officer and you got somebody with car vandalism, it might be stalking related and the victim may not know that. You need to tell them, and first of all, you need to tell them it could be stalking related and ask them, have you had anybody bothering you? Second of all, you need to make sure the victim knows stalkers are dangerous. They're nuttier than a fruitcake. I can tell you they are. And it's right here. This is what police are supposed to do with stalking reports. You put the bad guy in jail. Don't put us in a shelter. There it is right there. Okay? Anybody can see it. It's been linked on this, like, repeatedly. Mr. Perry, again, why is it you think I care what you think? Why do you think that? No one understands why the fuck you think that. He tries to type in my other phone. He won't do it in this one where you can see. Sometimes he'll do stuff in this one too, though. Like he thinks this is a conversation because he's a little perverted peeping Tom. So he knows what I'm doing right now. What I said to you is don't contact me at all because I fucking hate it. We got this because you're still contacting me. You're still invading my privacy. And I'm still broke. So we got that. Did you want me to have that? It's like you want me to have this stuff. You don't get a date. No one's in love with you. No one wants to be with you. You're rejected and told on every day for a decade. Rejected and told on. That's it. Nothing else has come from what you've done but that. No one has as much about your crime as we do. So please understand, we don't need you. We've already got all this stuff and we didn't need your, wasn't up to you. Thousands and thousands of recordings, you guys, trying to commit a crime against me. And so when you go around telling everybody I'm going to starve her until she lies, you've expressed intent to cause bodily injury to force me to lie. Because I'm telling the truth now. And everybody said there's been such a drastic, horrible change in her life. Horrible, devastating change. That we already know she's telling the truth. We already know. If she changes her story now, he's made her do it. He made her lie to eat. So he's not going to convince us of anything. What's the point? See, Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease and delusion and failure of cognitive reasoning. He can't think that through like everybody else can. He can't do it. He's not able. But the problem is he's got partners. Lucius, Calvin, David Robertson, Matthew Powell, Josh Burson, and I guess they can't either. I guess they are Sanjay. I guess they're not able to either. When you had me kicked out of my hotel and took everything I owned and threw it in the trash, we got Geppetto's name. We got Lucius's name. We got Sanjay's name. We know Sanjay's the hacker. We know Geppetto's your witch. You hired a witch to cast spells on me and it's not working. He continues to ask, does she have sage? I don't have sage, Geppetto. I've explained this already. I don't like to repeat myself. I really don't. In Oklahoma, the Indian witchcraft, whatever, legend or whatever it is, the story is, if you have sage, it wards off evil spirits. I have a Bible and I pray and I do a rosary and crap like that. And I just believe God is who he says he is. And he says, and I believe angel of the Lord encamps around about those who fear him and delivers them. And I've told 3 or 4 different stories of things God did for me. God allows my suffering. Okay, he does that for a reason. I agreed to some amount of it. I don't understand why God allows suffering, but I know Job Satan went to God and he said, God, I'd like to sift your servant Job. He had to ask permission. And God said, absolutely you may, because my plan is I'm going to bless him double for what you do. Everything you take, I'm going to give him double back. And he won't lose faith. He'll stay strong in the faith. And that's exactly what happened. Job lost everything he had. But then God blessed him double for his trouble because he did not give up his faith. And by the way, also God called out, you had Ahab and Jezebel hurting people. And God had had enough of it. God gets to a point where he's had enough. And he knows whether you're going to turn around or not. He calls out, I need a deceptive spirit to trick King Ahab to his death. He's hurt people to a point that I'm no longer willing to tolerate it. I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. I want the guy dead. God said this. It's in the Bible. I think it's in Kings. He says, a deceptive spirit comes forward and he says, I'll do it. And God says, how are you going to do it? And he says, I'm going to go to his witches and I'm going to lie to them and say, you tell him to go to battle and tell him he'll win. And so that's what happened. The deceptive spirit went to the witch, Geppetto, and the witch told King Ahab, you're going to win. He went into battle and he was murdered. He was killed in the battle. He died. No more hurting people. That was it. God doesn't like hurting people, one person hurting another any more than you would allow your children to hurt each other. The perfect Heavenly Father will not. So they like to take my money. Like I said, they'll be charged with witness tampering, and I believe the act is grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. They used to rent out my whole club, so no paying customers would come in, and only their 5 guys with canned food. Well, over time, what happens is the people that have the money and are the regular customers that would go out and pay, they stop going out there. I worked at Sensations. It's a long trip. By the way, when I danced, I got a lot of evidence, and I didn't do the extras in the VIP. I didn't do any of the illegal extra crap. I didn't do it. There's a classy way to dance. That's the way I ran my business. It was my own business. You're self-employed. I ran my business very classy. Everyone knows that. Mr. Perry was looking for a way to false arrest me. If I did something illegal, I'd have been arrested long time ago. He was looking for kind of to do the Stormy Daniel thing at the very least. So had I done the illegal shit, I would have been in jail and prostitution headline, blah, blah, whatever he can do to smear me. Because he needs a lie. He got caught in crime, and he thinks if I lie for him, that'll change it all. It's not going to change fuck. You don't know who all has the recordings. You don't know how many jurisdictions are involved, and no one's going to help you with that. When I have my money back and you're not in my life anymore and I have my privacy back, One of our guys will be in touch with you if you haven't already been arrested. But believe me, they don't need you. He said, I've been listening to Charles Perry for everything he says for over a decade. He's not going to tell me anything I don't already know. And I told him she's not to be broke again. You're not to contact her again. You're to respect the law and her privacy. Don't peep, don't hack, don't contact her. Everything you're doing is illegal. Stop. And he didn't. He took her home. He took everything she owned and threw it in the dumpster. And so, because he did that, he didn't understand me clearly. I don't waste my time talking to people who can't understand me. My time is better spent getting stuff like this. This will be used in court to convict you and get restitution. You do realize that there's certain crimes that you're committing against me. There'll be restitution if I live to tell about it. If I don't, maybe my kids can get it. But right now, and just for the record, if my family's listening to this, I want my kids to get, if there's something that I end up dead and there's restitution to be paid, I want my children to get that money, Tristan and Dennis, and Craig and Dana and Sharon, my family, and their kids. They took care of me when I got here. The only reason I'm staying away from them is you started threatening. You were telling them, here's what we're going to do to her, to hurt her. And then when I'd find out beforehand, you thought they were the leaks. Then you start threatening them. So I'm just trying to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. There's no allegations of that. So I've stayed away from them. I miss my family. I don't miss you. I miss my family. I miss having money. I miss paying my bills on time. You know the laws? There are laws that say you got to pay certain things. I'd love to do that. You're the causation of why I can't, and everybody knows it. And everybody hates you for it, so we get stuff like this. You caused an injury to my finances, and you did it on purpose so that I couldn't pay the bill that I needed to pay. You did it intending to prevent me from complying with the law or a contract or whatever it is. You're the causation, and everybody knows it. Everybody fucking hates you. That's how we get these right here. It's been that way for a decade, and you still don't get the cause and effect. You don't get the different and the same. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. You cause a problem for me, we get these. This guy talking right here was recorded. Every time you went around telling somebody I intend to cause a bodily injury to her, to force her to lie, I'm not going to let her eat. And I'm such a skank, a repulsive piece of shit, that the only thing worse than me is eating out of a dumpster. It's not like I wake up and go, oh, he makes my heart sing. He's just this great guy. He's wonderful. He treats me good, and he's making my life happy. That's not happening, and you know it. First of all, you're a job for me. Your contact is highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. And when you contact me, we get more of these. Is that what you wanted? You're not getting a date. I'm not in love with you. You make my skin crawl. So our shrink is like, I think he's so far into delusion, imaginary, his pretend land, that he's not able to find his way back out. I don't think he can tell anymore the difference between fact and fiction. I think he doesn't know. I think that part of his mind has been eaten up by the Huntington's disease and its damaged goods, and it doesn't work. And he has no idea. But is David the same? Is Matt Powell the same? Is Josh the same? Is Joe Chadwick the same? Is Lucius the same? Is Calvin the same? I know Calvin's fat and bald. Because when you contact me, we get more. You started talking about getting me kicked out of my apartment. We got that. We got more. We got his name and what he looks like. Every one of you have talked to my guys. If they wanted your bribe, they'd asked for it then. Every one of you has been sting-offed by our undercovers, and you had no idea. As good as I am, they're even better. So I'm at work in the club, and there's nobody in there, because everybody got tired of driving out there to find out the club's been rented, and they can't go in. So they quit coming. It's fucking empty. I wasn't making any money. I had bills to pay. I'm sitting there, I'm actually sitting there praying, God, what am I going to do? What do you want me to do? What do I do? Show me what to do. I don't know what to do. This man walks in. There hadn't been anything. I think there had been 2-3 guys in all night. This man walks in. I go up to the counter and I'm kind of chatting with him for a minute. And then I said, would you like a VIP? And he goes, no, I wouldn't. I bought one from her. But here. And he handed me $300. Just like that. And then I had my bill paid. So the other night, about a week ago, they were jamming up my Dasher app, and I wasn't making any money, and I was getting pissed. They would get me orders that were just far enough to use up a lot of gas. So it was almost like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. I'd make enough to kind of pay the gas, and that was it. And not enough to pay the hotel. I had made some arrangements to pay my hotel bill. I'll stay here a week, and here's how I'll pay that out. And it was actually their idea. The owners, managers, whatever, said, we'll let you stay a week, and here's what you need to do. Can you do that? And I said, sure. So I was trying to do that, and they were trying to really hard to make sure I didn't do that. I was about to cry. I was so tired I couldn't keep my eyes open. I'm like, God, what the hell? My guy sent somebody to send me some money. The guy said, here's money. They've watched him fuck with your app all night. Go pay your hotel bill. Go home. That was my last order where I ran into this person, and I paid it. And the other thing was God is in this. There's no question. About a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe, I had this, my car gets threatened all the time. I had this dream that I lost my key. It's different. It's the key. It's not the car, but still. It's a dream. It wasn't real. I had a dream, and it was not real. Because I have to differentiate for Mr. Perry. You have to get really, really clear, so he understands the difference between what's imaginary and what's real. What didn't really happen, it was just a dream, is that I delivered some DoorDash. My key didn't have a keychain on it. The keychain broke, or I lost it. I think it broke, and I lost it. And then my car guy gave me one of his paper ones that he usually uses for his rentals, and that one ripped off, so he gave me another one, and then that one ripped off. So I just had the key. So in my dream, I'm delivering some food up some stairs, and I dropped my key beside the stairs into a hole, and I'm like freaking out. What am I gonna do? I couldn't get it. And there's this little boy behind me, and laughing. Little 4-year-old kid, little scruffy curly hair, starts laughing, and I looked at him and I go, "What are you laughing at? It's really not funny. I dropped my key. I don't know what I'm going to do." He goes, "You have the biggest, hugest angel behind you." And I said, "I do. Is he funny? You're laughing. Is he funny?" And he goes, "He's just so big. He's just this huge angel behind you." Kind of like, "What are you worried about?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, good." And then I wake up. The next day, this part is not my dream. This really did happen. As I'm delivering food, I'm walking in and out of a restaurant, and I look down on the ground, and there's a little keychain, and it's white pearl, like you'd see, like an angel, not red, not green, not yellow, not blue, white pearl. And it's the kind you can put around your arm so that you can have your key and carry food at the same time and not lose your key. And I was like, oh my God, wow. That is how close of attention God pays to little things. Now, why is he allowing Mr. Perry to starve me where I'm having to sleep in my car? I don't know. Is he allowing me to go days without food and a bath? I don't know. He has a plan. Job lost everything he had. He didn't have a bath either. He lost his kids. He was a very wealthy man. He lost his kids and everything he owned. Absolutely everything he owned, and he was heartbroken. And he was asking God, did I do something wrong? And there's this big argument, and God kind of says, at the end of Job, if you read it, he says, "I control Leviathan. Who are you to question me? I have my reasons that I do things. I have my reasons that I do things. Who are you to question me?" And Job says, "You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have questioned you. By the way, my friends are accusing me that I've done some sin. I pray that you'd forgive them. They're questioning you too. We're all questioning you, and I pray you forgive them." And God restored unto Job double for his trouble, double everything he lost. And the later years were better, it says, than the years before. Joseph, God promised him. He's praying, "God, I'm being bullied." Look at this. Charles changed the page again. So we'll get more because you did that. Remember, I said if you get quoted again, last time you did this in this podcast, you did that. I said you're not going to get a call back. We'll get more. That's exactly what happened. Did you get a call back? No. No, you didn't. So remember, you've done it again. So we'll get more again. That is what you want. That is your choice. You made a choice. We're certain you can live with your choices. So then Joseph is complaining, "I'm getting bullied. My brothers are bullying me. They're bullying me." And God tells him they were not going to bully you anymore. In fact, they're going to bow before you. Joseph then gets a coat from his dad. And he's expecting to go to the backyard and tell the brothers, "Look at my coat." and they're going to bow. And that's not what happened. They got very angry and they sold him into slavery. Okay, so the one part is taken care of. They don't bully him again ever after that. But he's sold into slavery. They didn't bow in the backyard where it might be kind of lame. No one saw it but them. He's sold into slavery, and he becomes head of the household, and he does a very good job managing the household. And the wife does what Charles is doing to me and starts trying to force herself on him. And he refuses her, and she falsely accuses him of rape, and he goes to prison. So now Joseph is probably really going, I thought you said this was going to be a little different. I thought you said my brother's going to bow to me and not bully me ever again. Well, they're not bullying me because they're not here, but they didn't bow to me, and I'm in prison. I've been accused of rape. This is major scorn here. And God's like, don't give up. Just watch this. Joseph starts learning product distribution management while he's in jail. They put him in charge of that. The Pharaoh has a dream one night, and they call for Joseph because everybody in prison's like, oh yeah, this guy in jail can interpret dreams. The Pharaoh says, I had a dream. There's 7 fat calves and 7 fat sheaves of wheat. And then there's 7 puny ones. 7 puny cows and like starving cows, and same thing with the wheat. Joseph says, we're going to have 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of famine. During the prosperity, you need to save food and put some in the storage because you're going to need it during the years of famine. And by the way, I've been doing that in jail. I can manage product distribution. That's what I do. He says, you're second in command of all of Egypt, one of the most powerful countries in the world at the time. His brothers come for food. They bow before him in a palace, not laying backyard. So who knows why God does what God does, but God always keeps his promise. And it may not be when we want and how we want. Why is he letting me sleep in my car? I don't know. I don't care. Why is he letting me go days without food? I don't know. I don't care. I know this. I know I'll get double for my trouble, and Mr. Perry he'll have some consequences he's not going to like. He'll have some serious consequences. He's making that choice. I just said it. You get out of my phone, you don't contact me again. Or we'll get more, and we just did. There's a lot of times we've needed something and the person wouldn't cooperate with us, and we prayed about it, and boom, they get a call. Okay, I'll help. I'll help you. Mr. Perry, we do not need your help. You need ours. Because every day I'm broke. Every day Mike's in jail. Every time you contact me after I've asked you not to contact me anymore ever again, repeatedly, for years. Every minute you invade my privacy, we get more of these. And nobody has as much as we have. And you act like you have no fucking idea what it means that we have all this. You don't, do you? You don't know, do you? That's why our guy will not talk to you. Because you don't understand him. And he's not going to waste his time talking to somebody who doesn't understand a word he said. What he said is you're going to give it back and you're going to get out, or we're going to do it for you through the normal legal process. That's your choice. You can do it or we'll do it, but it's going to happen. You can't control yourself. You have no idea what's real and what you imagine, do you? But you did that thing in my last podcast, and I told you get the fuck out of my phone, didn't I? And I said, okay, everybody, he just did that after I told him not to contact me and to get the fuck out of my phone, so we'll get more. So we just did. Your guy... You got a guy earlier tonight, upset. I thought Fabian was supposed to coax her back to Texas, where we can do more to her. You guys were recorded in March. Yeah, like we've never showed this before. We've showed it over and over and over. Just because you can't remember doesn't mean everybody else can't. You coaxed. We're watching the coaxing. You wanted to coax me to a shelter. We're going to take her computer. We're going to take her driver's license, and it won't be linked to us. Just those bad people at the shelter. Those damn homeless people took her shit. Then she can't finish school. Then she can't get any more school money. She won't have a choice. She'll have to go. But go to Texas and be trafficked like we told her to. And we know you said that. And not only do we know you said that, we said that about a week ago. And you act like we never said it before. We're baffled at how many times you guys act like we've not said it before already. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Everybody else can remember it. After we say it one time, we don't know what the hell y'all's problem is. Mr. Perry, I'm going to say this to you again one more time. I don't care what you think. Don't contact me anymore. I fucking hate it. I did not ask you what you think, did I? What I asked you to do? Do you know? Are you struggling to understand what people say? It's like you just fucking can't understand a word people say. Aphasia or something. I don't care what you think at all. I did not ask you. I said get out of my phone and don't contact me again. I hate it. You get told on because I hate it. I don't want anything to do with you. You don't even make sense. So the rest of you, this is for you. Lucius and David, Calvin, did you really think nobody else remembers that we already put this out and have talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and talked about it? You're criminals. You're going to jail. Trafficking comes with a life sentence. Why do you think we're getting these? Because we're just bored? Nobody will tell you anything. It's a need to know. Nobody's calling you guys back. They're not, are they? Call Nashville and see if it's them. Tell them stop stopping our crime. See if they'll do it. Hold your breath. See if it's them. Okay? So, you coaxed Mike to Pensacola. How did I know he had to be begged to go? He didn't want to go. Y'all begged him to go. You like coaxing. You're trying to coax me to a shelter where you can do some harm to me. We get it. That's all you guys do all the time. How can we trick into this? How can we trick into... Okay, so Fabian knows that. He knows I know that. He knows you want to use him to do that to me. He knows I know that. So, I mean, what do you think you're trying to pull here? What do you think you were trying to pull here? I mean, Fabian and I are not... We're not stupid. We're very smart. Why aren't you? You're not keeping up. All of you. It's not just Looney Toony Charles here. Creepy Chucky. It's all of you. We're like baffled at the stupid, special kind of stupid. We've already put this out, dumbass, over and over and over and over. Everyone else remembers it. Why can't you? We've already put that out. Everyone knows about the coaxing. I've talked about y'all trying to coax me to a shelter repeatedly, over and over and over and over and over. Hold on. Okay. What does that say? Look at the date on that, December 12th. Take the car, get her to a shelter where we can take her phones, computer, and her driver's license. It's easier to traffic you. You were recorded talking about it on December 12th. You're still trying to do it. You know I have this. It's on Facebook, I believe. You know I have it. We've talked about it. I know I talked about it in a podcast or two. And you're still trying to do it. And you're still going, nobody else suspect a thing. And we're all going, that's a special kind of stupid right there. You gotta be shitting us with that. Really? You think that? I mean, we don't even have words for that. So, when we get these is because I'm broke, Mike's in jail, Mr. Perry continues to contact me thinking I care what he thinks. I really don't. I fucking don't care what he thinks. I didn't ask him. I said don't contact me because I fucking hate it. And the longer my privacy's invaded, you guys want my guys to call you. Here's the thing. I'm not broke and you're gone. Nobody's in you guys are all gone and I have my privacy back. We have all of these, Mr. Perry. We do not need you, sir. You need us. The more harm you do to me, the more charges they're going to add to you. That might be one reason God's allowing it. I agreed to some of it. And if it makes you get more charges and you never, ever get out of prison, fine. If I said I'd be willing to give my life to save the lives of others, I made that decision a long time ago. When I was young, here's the thing, what happened. I was watching some TV show, I don't even know. And I was in another room. I think I was cooking or something. And I heard this lady say, we are extraordinary every single day. And I thought, that's what I want to be. I want to be extraordinary every single day. I have no idea how I'm going to do that. God help me do that. That means I'm going to be heads above and everybody else. I'm going to, whatever the thing is, I want to do better at it than anybody else can do. I want to be extraordinary. I want to stand out. What the hell was I thinking? Anyways, come to find out, that's not even what she said. What she actually said when I, they replayed it later, and I was actually in the room watching it instead of in another room cooking, and I overheard. I'm actually standing in front of, what she actually said was, extraordinary things happen every single day, and it was like some hospital show. And they were talking about a children's hospital, and they were talking about miracles that happen that in these kids as they get better from their disease or whatever. And I think it was a Discovery Channel, something, Discovery Health. And I'm like, I didn't even hear that right. But I do. I still want to be extraordinary every single day. I'd gone through already the Anthony Robbins Unlimited Power. He had some CDs. I think he still has them. I don't know. Now it might be in podcasts or downloadable streaming something. But he has a 30-day and then a 10-day. I think he shortened it eventually to 10 days. Where I love Anthony. Anybody that knows me know I'm a huge fan of Anthony Robbins. Bob Proctor, I'm reading his book now, one of his books. Norman Vincent Peale, Napoleon Hill. I love Napoleon Hill. These are people, when people go buy a book, and I go to Barnes & Noble, and I love it in there. And I don't go to the romance section. I don't read the soap opera books. I go to that section that has Robbins and Napoleon Hill, and I have quite a few of Napoleon Hill's books. I've got one of Robbins, plus I did the 30-day thing that I bought a long time ago, and that's one of the things that Perry stole somewhere along the way. And so I went through that whole 30-day thing with Anthony Robbins with his CDs, and I bought them, and that's pretty much his mantra. You be excellent. And I also listen to Coach Payne. Everybody knows I love Coach Payne. And it's you be excellent. You're not allowed to quit. Things are gonna get tough sometimes. You're not allowed to quit. You're gonna come out ahead. You're a champion. I listen to that crap all the time. And look how this is paid off. Look at the stuff we have nobody else has. We have what no one else has. We're very, very proud of that. This is law enforcement. These are lawmen. The goal is to tell all these women you deprive of food and shelter and take their children away from them, splitting families apart like fucking Hitler. You're a monster. Poking, peeping, pink penny, pathetic Perry is what your guy calls you. Your guy called you that. We laughed our asses off. We could not believe it. Your guy said that. Peeping, poking, pink penny, pathetic Perry. And he said the rest of it I can't repeat. I really can't, but it was funny as hell. We thought that was the funniest thing we've heard in a long time. Your guy said it, so you blame your own people. We're just quoting your guy. Anyways, the ability to say you're safe now. We slayed your dragon. That is all that mattered. I mean, my granddad. I mean, you be the one that got him. You be the one that figured it out. You be the one that caught it. That's everything to me. That always was. That's our whole. You're the coolest fuck. You're the coolest fuck ever if you can be that guy or that girl that caught it. What everybody else missed, you caught it. You're the one that caught it. You're the one that figured it out. You're the one that got this one, this really bad one. You're the one that did, and I'm the one that got your crime. Because you've done this for decades, and I'm the one that got Pinto. I'm the one that got Pinto soliciting prostitution for you. I recorded that bitch. I'm the one that got David and Mickey James to threaten me in a text. Both of them. Both of them threatened me in a text. Two of your guys that work for you threatened my life in text, not verbally where you can't really prove it. And I just record. I mean, they actually texted it to me. Let your life fade away. I can't promise. I mean, and I'm pointing out. I'm looking at it like I can't promise it won't end without death and destruction. But the thing is, what I said is, I want the stalking to end without deception, death, and destruction. It was interesting. He left the word deception out of the whole thing and only put death and destruction. I can't promise the stalking will end without death and destruction. After he tells me, yeah, I gave you arsenic. What a great follow-up, David. Thank you. So, you may have even sent that one before. I don't know. I believe he sent the one about let your life fade away. But, I mean, I was getting regular death threats from this guy. The first thing out of his mouth is, I'm David Robertson. I work for Charles Perry. Recant your story, or I'll put you in the lake. You like boats? Just like that. Wow. Wow. You're actually threatening my life if I don't lie? That's how long they've been trying to get me to lie. That means I'm telling the truth. That's how everybody else sees it. But if you're delusional and stupid, you might not understand that. My guy's not going to waste time talking to you. You don't understand him. You can't understand what people say. You can tell. You have no fucking idea. You showed up in my last, you fucking changed the page, and I stopped it. I stopped the podcast, and I said, everybody that just saw Charles do that, what did I just say? Don't fucking contact me. Get out of my phone. And you didn't understand that. So guess what? We just got more. Didn't we? That's something else. Hang on. We got more. You can live with your consequences. You can live with your choices, right? Princess Weirdo, can't you? Yeah. So I don't care what you think. You don't even make sense. Listen to the words I'm saying, Mr. Perry. I fucking don't care what you think, and no one understands why you think I do. You fucking don't even make sense, whack job. You don't, Princess Cuckoo Bird. You seriously need to be in a funny farm. Bad. Those guys, somebody, whoever overheard you guys. We're gonna make sure she gets out of Oklahoma. We've all decided. They laughed at y'all. They're like that. It was like sitting in a fucking nut house, a sane asylum, listening to them talk. No grasp on reality at all. None. You can tell not one of them is in reality at all. None. It was embarrassing to listen to. Or a fucking Alzheimer's wing in a nursing home. The judge actually said that one time. Am I in a courtroom or am I in a nursing home and the Alzheimer's wing? It feels like, I'm not sure. When he was listening to your recordings, they took something to him. This is probable cause for the next wiretap order or whatever it was they were asking for, and that judge actually said it. Am I in a courtroom or am I in a nursing home? What is going on here? What is happening? What they're saying, they've said it 1,000 times and it still doesn't make sense. Why are they, what, they know, she knows about I think it was the ringtone. She knows about the ringtone, correct? Yeah. They're still trying to get a ringtone? Yes. She told him she knows? Yes. Huh. Are we in an Alzheimer's wing at a nursing home or what's going on here? Same thing with the shelter. Same thing with this. Everyone says the same thing. And that's what the police officer said. You want me to pull her over, force her to sign some letter of apology and affidavit. I'm supposed to arrest her, I guess, to force her into that, intimidate her like that. And I'm not going to do it. She already knows about the letter and the affidavit, and she said no. Yeah, I'm not doing that. She knows about it. She's talked about it. Everybody knows about it. He's trying to force her to lie. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that. Well, you may not have a choice. Yeah, I have a choice. I always have a choice. And I'm telling you no. The guy's a whack job. And I'm not signing my name to a whack job's bad decision. Bye-bye. And so, that's how you're viewed by everyone else. And this judge on the cover of Tulsa World said, if you're a domestic violence offender, you're not going to hide anymore. Thank God for that one. Thank you, God, for that one. For that kind of mentality, for that kind of viewpoint. That's what it takes to fight bitches like you. Because you're a domestic violence offender, but you're a lot worse than that. You're a cop killer. Because you had to coax Mike to Pensacola where you could kill him. And he didn't die, so you did the same thing to him. You poisoned me with arsenic. You gave him opioids. We don't die, we end up false arrested. My charges were dismissed because I have help. I had a McNamara email. Everyone's seen the McNamara email, right? I had a Fabian puzzle. You don't get a date. In 13 years, you've had not one date with me ever. You fucking weirdo. You fucking weirdo. You just get told on. We get more of these. So I'm going to say it to you one last time. You're going to get charged with assault and battery. That's it. You told everybody you want to starve me until I lie. You told everybody you intend to cause bodily injury to make me lie. I said, no, I'm not going to lie for you. And I'm not going to go to Texas and be your bitch. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. You disgusting, nasty, blah. And even though you know you're repulsive, because the only thing worse than you is dumpster diving. Golly. Most guys that I know, they could actually get a date with me and actually had real sex with them, tried to impress me. They tried to impress me. They took me to nice restaurants. They bought me nice things. They made sure I didn't miss a meal, sir. And here you are. I'm so pathetic and repulsive that the only thing better than me is making her eat out of a dumpster. You're like Pat. We make fun of you. We're like He's like fucking Pat from Saturday Night Live. I think he's not sure if he's a he or a she, and he whines like that. It's horrible to listen to. Now these days the thing is that TV show or that sketch on Saturday Night Live would be seen as inappropriate, and it really is. It's horrible. But the problem is that there are some people who have now made that situation where you're sexually confused and frustrated a crime causation, like BTK did. BTK flat out said, I had a sex problem. I couldn't control it. Rape is that. I got a sex problem and I can't control it. Mark O'Leary, who was featured in the Netflix original Unbelievable, said, I had a sex problem and I can't control myself. And I rape women. So, BTK said I would go in and I take hostages. And I put bags over their heads and I suffocate them. Then I bring them back to life. Then I suffocate them again, and I do this over and over and over until I finally kill them. And then I get a euphoria, sexual arousal from that, and I go in another room and ejaculate. I'm reading a book called Sexual Homicide, written by one of the guys who set up the FBI profiling thing. So, I mean, this is part of crime causation, unfortunately. Something that should be beautiful between a man and a woman who love each other has now become something that traumatizes people, and it's something that hurts people, and it's very sad. But why does God allow that? I don't know. I fucking don't know. You know, it's all I can say is we can't choose what happens to us, but we can choose what we do with what happens to us. We can either use it as an excuse to fail, or we can use it to help other people who might have been through something similar and are having a hard time finding their way back to some normal thinking. And because when something bad happens to you, part of the trauma of being a victim of crime is you feel like you're in some other planet. Literally, nothing is normal. You're scared all the time. You feel panicky all the time. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who not to trust. You don't know, you go, here we go again. So when I get another quote from y'all, it's because Mr. Perry again changed the page while I'm talking. And I said, don't contact me, didn't I? Get out of my phone. Hacking is a felony. Peeping is a felony. Stalking a woman, unwanted contact, threats, and harassment, felony. Coercion is a felony. Witness tampering is a felony. Assault and battery is, in the way they want to charge you, is a felony. Murder in the first degree because you freeze me to death on purpose. You want to kill me. He said I can get him on that easy because I've got so many recordings of him talking about getting a hitman or talking to a hitman. I can get him on first degree murder. You freeze to death. Oh, let's hope that doesn't happen. But if it does, he's going to jail. He's choosing murder in the first degree. That's capital punishment. We can get the death penalty if I can get him to pass the 8th Amendment I'm not stupid test. I don't know. Don't do that again. Stop contacting me. I don't care what you think. No one understands why you think I do. No one understands that. So your sexual confusion, Pat, is a crime now. Now crime causation. You're bothering people with it in a way they won't get over. So when you get victimized, you're in a place that you know in your head where you're just like lost. And if someone else has gone through the same thing and found their way back to where you can think like a normal person and function normally, I do it every day. I get up and I go to work while I'm victimized I'm being a victim of crime. A bad one. Bad, ugly, nasty crime. Every fucking day. I have panic attacks sometimes. Believe me, I do. You know how I learned how to overcome that? I'm watching Bull, which is Dr. Phil. I love Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is the writer of that show. And it's featuring him was like his life when he was a jury consultant. Remember, what made him famous is he was the jury consultant for Oprah Winfrey in the Amarillo cattle dealy thingy lawsuit. That's what made him famous. He consulted for Oprah. So he's telling one of the witnesses is panicking on the stand. She's just panicking, can't even talk. So he takes her in another room and he goes, I'm going to tell you how to deal with the panic attack. Count. Because the panic attack is happening in your creative side of your brain, and you need to switch it to the logical side of your brain by doing math or recount numbers, recount your address as a kid, recount your social, recount your bank account balance. Recount something, numbers. And add, subtract. Look around the room, see if you find numbers, start adding them together. And That'll switch your thoughts to the logical side of your brain, and the panic attack will stop, and that works. It doesn't work when you're sleeping. I've woken up many a time just throwing the sheets. I mean, you feel like you can't breathe. You feel like somebody's smothering you. But as far as functioning every day, I've done a hell of a job. I do have a 3.64 GPA. Despite Mr. Perry trying to make me fail, for 3 years I was on the dean's list until he jammed at my computer. He had a little meeting. How can we make her fail? Because she's really good at what she's doing. Nobody else has what we have. They don't have it. You don't have it. No other victim has that. I have it. But who has the actual recording? See, I end up dead. The guys that have the actual recording are going to charge you with murder in the first degree. They're already going to charge you with assault and battery. Do you understand? You did it. You told everybody, I'm going to hurt her, so she'll lie. I'm going to cause a physical pain and starve her until she lies. You told everybody who will listen. Because you said that, and we got it, because the longer I'm broke, the more you contact me, the more my privacy is invaded, the longer Mike's in jail, the more we get. The more we get, the easier it'll be to get a conviction and a hell of a lot of restitution. And I want that restitution to go to my kids first. And then my cousins, Craig and Dana. And Sharon, my aunt. And Craig's kids. I don't know. I'll let everybody else figure out how. My kids clearly need to get the most of it. 3/4 of it, and everybody else gets the rest. I need for them to have that. If you kill me, it's going to be pursued as much as it can. You asked for it, sir. So my guy's not going to talk to you because you're stupid and he has no time for that. Or you're mentally ill, or you're deranged, or demented, or depraved, or all of that. But the thing is, it's not my problem. But you've made it my problem. You're imposing that on me. This is something that needs to be dealt with within your own family. Not with strangers. Just because you think you can. Because I would say this indicates right here, sir, that you can't. And if you're delusional and you can't figure out what the hell it means that I have that, again, not my problem. You'll find out the hard way. You find out the hard way. You seem to like that anyway. You can live with your choices. I'm certain that you can. Certain that you can. I end up dead because I freeze to death, because I will not go to a shelter, and you're going to take my... I'd rather be dead than you take my computer, you take my driver's license, blame some damn homeless person. It's not linked to us, even though you were recorded talking about it, so it actually is. So she's easier to traffic. Then she's finally back in Texas, and she has to suck everybody's dick. And if she does that wrong, she's going to be eating out of a dumpster either way. And I'm not going to... I'll kick the hell out of you. You're not going to get me to do shit. You run a fantasy through your head, and now you can no longer... so deep in it, you can no longer tell the difference between fact and fiction. And it's unbelievable that at this point, as many times as we quote you, that you think you can get away with this. You're not. You're fucking not. I don't know what the hell planet you live on. Planet Weirdo? You're stuck there, aren't you? Okay. We have these. You don't have our conversations. You don't have anybody's name. You need us. We do not need you. Princess Cuckoo Bird. You understand me? You better if you understand not another thing I said, that you better understand. Lucius, Calvin, Robertson, Chadwick, Powell, Burson, and Perry. You better get this through your head. I have that right there. I have a McNamara email. I have a Fabian puzzle. I have a Mike was drugged email. I have a lot of shit no one else has. I have your names. Geppetto, Fatbald Calvin, Hacker, Sanjay, Geppetto's the witch. I got all these names of your people. Okay? You don't have any name, not one. Nobody will call you back. So I don't need you, you need me. We don't help you until I have my money back and you're out of my life. All of you are out of my life and I have my privacy back. And Mike and Lily is home. Start with, you get out of my privacy. Start with that. That's the easiest thing you can do. And don't contact me again. Do not fucking contact me again. I fucking hate it. Okay, I think this morning when you first started taunting me again, my guy said you got 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour. You missed it because you didn't do what he said and you blew your chance. And that's what you wanted. That was the choice you made. You can live with your choices, right? Mr. Perry, When I have things no one else has, and you continue to act like you don't know what it means, you can live with that choice, right? You can live with that choice, sir? You act like you don't know what it means that I have this right here. Or this right here. Or this right here. And Calvin's name, and he's bald and fat. Geppetto, your witch's name. Sonjay, your hacker's name. Muffin Man. Some guy nicknamed Muffin Man, right? Beverly. Monique. Who's Monique, Charles? Explain who's Monique. Okay. One more time, get in my face, bitch. One more time. And no, Fabian wouldn't help you. I said he wouldn't. I said if you really wanted me back in Texas, you'd use Fabian to get me back to Texas. Except he won't help you. He's not going to do it. And you actually tried. We were kind of surprised by that because I said he's not going to help you. And you still tried. And we were like, they actually still tried. And he still said no. He knows that you're going to use him to hurt me. He knows I know that. We're not stupid. You are. So, it's so easy. It's not fair. What day one of my guys are going to arrest you? Because he did say, you stop or I'll do it for you. We'll get restitution for her. You're going to give it back and you're going to get the fuck out or I'm going to do it for you. Just like that. I'm a cop. That's what we do. Legal process includes restitution to your victims. The more we get, the easier it'll be to get a conviction and more restitution. The more you do, the more restitution there's going to be. And then subsequent civil suits. I've already told you I'll sue the hell out of you. I told you to leave me alone, and that's what I meant. I don't like you. No one does. Everybody's sick of this. You have dragged this on and on and on and on, and everybody's fucking tired of you, sick of you, and this bullshit drama. Okay? Everybody's sick of it. You need to get off your ass and go work. Get off your fat, lazy, perverted ass and go fucking work. No one's caught your crime like we have. We don't need you. You need us. And you missed your window this morning when I said you got 1 hour. And you didn't do it. Okay. You live with your choices, right? They got this to me in jail. They got that to me in jail. Wasn't up to you, was it? Was it up to you when they got that? Nope. Was it up to you when we got that? I don't think it was. So, there's that.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How can you dress like this? What are you like a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How can you dress like this? What are you like a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.